Hi, friends. Welcome back to your Emotional Support Podcast. I'm Noelle Rizzio, your host, and I'm so excited to kick off season 2. I couldn't wait. I know I told you guys a couple months, but I couldn't wait. I just had too much to share, and I really missed you guys. I've got some exciting changes this season. This season, I'm focusing my episodes on my fellow working moms out there, the ones spinning plates, juggling schedules, answering emails with one hand, and wiping peanut butter off the walls with the other. You know who you are. I'm also adding video to this season. So if you're listening, surprise, you can see me on video too. Let's dive into how to stop the guilt cycle, reclaim your worth, and move from juggling to actually thriving. Today, we're starting off with one of the biggest emotional drains on modern motherhood, guilt. Specifically, that persistent, unshakable mom guilt that whispers you should be doing more even when you're already doing everything. That's why today's episode is called The Guilt Myth: Why You Feel Bad Even When You're Doing Everything Right. We're going to unpack why guilt is so relentless for moms, where this belief that we have to do it all perfectly comes from, and how to start untangling that lie so you can breathe a little easier, love yourself a little harder, and show up in a way that actually feels good. So first, let's name it. What is mom guilt? Mom guilt is that consistent hum in the back of your mind that says you're not spending enough time with your kids, you're not patient enough, you shouldn't want time alone, you should be more grateful. It's the belief that somehow, no matter what you're doing, you're failing someone, your kids, your job, your partner, your house, yourself. And that's wild. Because you know why? It's not logical. You can have a great day. Your kids are fine. Work went well. Dinner's on the table. And still somehow there's that ache that says, I could have done better. For me, it's that oh, the house isn't clean. It's filthy. I should be, sweeping up the dog hair, whatever, even when I'm just sitting on the couch. That's not moral failure. That's conditioning. Mom guilt is not proof that you're a bad mom. It's proof that you care deeply and that somewhere along the way you learned that caring means constantly sacrificing yourself. So let's talk about where this comes from, because this guilt didn't appear out of nowhere. We inherited it. Generations of women before us were taught that their worth was tied to how much they could give. Give time, give energy, give up sleep, hobbies, needs, all for the sake of everyone else. And then, in the 80s, modern womanhood came along. And she said, hey, now you also need to have a career, keep up with social media, volunteer at school, feed everyone organic, clean snacks, and look effortlessly put together while you're doing it. Okay. It's like the expectations doubled, but the support didn't increase at all. And when society gives you impossible standards, you end up with inevitable guilt. What's worse is that we've internalized it. Even when no one else is saying you should do more, that voice still lives in our heads because we've linked being a good mom to doing it all perfectly. And that's the myth. You can't do it all because all never ends. There will always be another need, another email, another laundry pile, another person to take care of. If good equals everything, then you never get to rest. For me, it always seemed that, especially when Sam was young, that when everything was going well at home, everything was erupting at work, or vice versa. Or if I finally got things on a synchronized schedule and things were kind of moving along, Sam would start some new phase or something and throw everything off balance again. It's like I couldn't win. When I stopped and realized this is just a phase, this is all temporary, it's nothing I have control over. It helped me to release some of that guilt and realize I was doing the best that I could. And guess what? So are you. Okay, quick timeout. If you're listening to this and thinking, okay, but how do I actually let go of all this guilt? I've got you. I've put together a free guide called the Working Mom's Guilt Survival Kit. This quick, maybe a little fun guide will help you stop apologizing for being human and start giving yourself the grace you give everyone else. You can grab it for free at noelrizio.com, or I'll put the link also in the show notes. All right, now let's get back to tackling that guilt right now. Sorry, I'm not used to video and I have some things stuck on my lip. Okay, maybe we'll edit that out. Maybe we won't. All right, so why does guilt feel so yucky? Even when we know it's unrealistic, it still feels so bad. This is because guilt tricks our brains into thinking that it's useful. It's like our mind's way of saying, if I feel bad enough, maybe I'll get it right next time. But guilt isn't a motivator, it's a drainer. It takes energy you could be using to connect, to rest, or to enjoy the life you're actually living. Plus, there's also this emotional wiring at play. Guilt activates that threat system in your brain, that fight or flight mode, because it's signaling that you've broken a rule, even if the rule isn't real. Like, I should never miss a school event. I should love every moment of motherhood. I should be more patient. But those aren't laws. They're made up standards that we have absorbed. You can start untangling this guilt by asking yourself, whose rule is this? Where did it come from? Is this true, or is this just something that I've been taught or that has kind of been drilled into my head? 9 times out of 10, you'll find it's not the truth. It's generational, cultural noise. So how do we start letting go? I've got a few mindset shifts that actually do work. First, you can start by replacing I should with I choose. Instead of saying I should spend more time with my kids, say I choose to be present for 20 minutes tonight. It puts you back in control and removes the shame from the equation. You could also redefine in yourself what it means to be a good mom. What does that actually mean to you? Being a good mom isn't about doing everything. It's about being connected to your kids, to yourself, and to your values. Perfection doesn't create connection. Presence does. So really sit and think about what would be the definition of a good mom to you. Maybe even write it down so you could go back and reference it. Another mindset shift is to catch the guilt early. When you notice that creeping guilt voice coming in, pause and call it out. Oh, that's that guilt talking, not truth. The more you name it and call it out, the less power it has. Then also give yourself permission to have needs. Your worth isn't based on how much you give up or how much you give to other people. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's how you stay sane, stay kind, and stay human. Here's the truth. Mom guilt thrives in silence. It grows when you think you're the only one feeling it, but you're not. Every mom I've ever talked to, clients, friends, myself, has battled this lie that says you're not enough. So if you take one thing from today, let it be this. You don't need to earn your worth. You already have it. You don't need to do it all. You just need to do what matters most with heart. And the next time that guilt voice shows up, I want you to picture it like that one friend who means well, but always gives terrible advice. You know who she is. And then do what's best for you because you're doing enough. You are enough. I'm going to say that again. You are enough. So that's it for today's episode of your Emotional Support Podcast. If this episode spoke to you, take a second and share it with a friend or another mom who might need the reminder. Make sure you're subscribed. Next week, we're talking about the invisible load, how mental labor is burning you out, and what to do about it. Also, don't forget to grab your free Working Moms Guilt Survival Kit. It's available. It's absolutely free on my website, noellerizio.com, NOELLERIZZIO.com. Until then, take a deep breath, give yourself some grace, and remember, you're allowed to feel good about the life you're building. I am so glad you're here. I will see you next week. And when I say see you, I actually will. All right. Have a great week.